Welcome back to another edition of the Course Creation Incubator Podcast. I'm your host, Gina Onativia, here to get you stoked about your course creation and marketing and help you build up the course-based business of your dreams. Now, I love to bring on special guests who have inspiring stories around their businesses, around building up their online programs. And Lesley Jane Seymour has an incredible story. And she's also, by the way, a media legend. She was editor-in-chief of More Magazine, Marie Claire, and Redbook, editorial icon. And Lesley came to me last year and was looking for a way to scale her Covey Club membership. So she went from offline to online by surveying her More Magazine readership. So when More Magazine folded, she sent out a 54-question survey to women, to readers. Over 600 replied. And based on that feedback, Lesley designed Covey Club. So love that. Love that she used this big survey. She really got a pulse of what women wanted. And today, Covey Club is an incredible international group of women who will support you in your business and personal growth wherever you want to go to next. You're going to hear Lesley talk about Covey Club quite a bit, and you can hear the passion in her voice. And because I got to collaborate with Lesley and help her with a couple of pointers for online marketing, I got to know Covey Club. And let me tell you, there are some amazing women in there. So I wanted Lesley on so you could hear her journey going offline to online, not really knowing where she was going. You're going to hear her talk about that and just taking the leap and taking risks and experimenting. And that's what we need to do as course creators. We need to put ourselves out there, sometimes not really knowing what's next. And Lesley is a champ at that. So I want you to hear her story and think about what you can take away from some of the ways that she ran magazines and the ways that she's approaching Covey Club. Okay, let's listen in. Lesley, welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you on.
How happy to be here, Gina. Anything for you. You're teaching me everything about marketing that I need to know.
You're the best. And I wanted you on because I think you're such an inspiration. You are a legend, a publishing legend. And you just decided to go for it online. You did. You decided to go for it. And my first question for you is, like, what prompted you to take that offline experience online?
Well, part of it was, and I'm sure you feel this way, you have a mission in life. And my mission has been to give voice to women who don't have voices and help women find their inner selves. That's the sole reason why I got into publishing and why I got into magazine running. And if that's my mission in life overall and where I get my real kicks out of life and my soul feels good, why, when my magazine goes out of business, would I stop? I've got to find, it's like a honeybee. You just got to keep finding other flowers. So that patch of flowers is gone and will never come back. Publishing magazines is gone. Basically, I go to the pharmacy now and I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's these things I see on the rack. And, but I'm like a honeybee. I got to keep making honey. And that's who I am. And why would I stop? So I've got to figure out how to do it. I did, I ran more.com. I read redbook.com. God, when before the internet, it was just starting out. No one knew what they were doing. And I wasn't a digital native or anything like that, but I certainly had experience. And I thought, what the heck? Let me just give it a try. You know what I love is you fall on your face, you turn around, you don't do it again, right? You're like, right. Whatever. And there were an awful lot of people, you'll understand that, who said to me, why would you do this? You have such a good reputation and, you're so well known for, producing. And what if it's terrible? And no one, I'm like, so what? So I still got the other thing. It didn't go away. Right. Let me try. And in the beginning, it wasn't good. I mean, in the beginning, don't laugh. I thought I was going to make an individual magazine with original copy, original art every single week.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where was I
I can
going to
see
do
that.
this? Oh
Right.
yeah, like out of my mind. What was I thinking? And I was paying the same amount out of my own pocket that Vogue is paying. And I thought that's what I had to do. And I ran out of money and also was exhausted and realized no one pays for publishing anymore, not even online. So I had to come
Right.
up with something else.
So why the subscription? Because listeners right now, I talk all the time. Obviously, I talk a lot about courses and programs or workshops. We talk about subscriptions sometimes too, about memberships. How did you land on that?
I had been watching and listening to various things for a while about, remember, the internet was free when it started. Everything was free. They were giving stuff away. I started hearing stories about all these people who had giant groups that they were then suddenly going to ask them to start paying for things.
Right.
And I thought, I didn't see it ever work. The way it would work is, if you're the skim and you have millions of people, then you get advertisers and sponsors, right? But there was very little between 5,000 and a million. Between 5,000 and a million, like if you're going to ask your consumer after 2 years of giving them everything for free, suddenly to pay for stuff, it doesn't work. And I heard a lot of people who were very disappointed. One person who was out there with a fabulous site, I think she had like 25,000 on Facebook or something, or 40,000. And they were very active and they loved her and all that. She wrote a book and she couldn't sell more than 6,000.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, like you would think somebody with all those people that they would pony up more. And I actually remember you saying to me when we worked together for the first time last year on my subscription drive, is that I hadn't even done a lot of priming the pump for getting people used to buying things from me. Because every once you joined, everything was free. And I think that goes even further if you've never asked for anything and everything's free, and then you suddenly come in and say, oh, I want you to buy my book. They're like, why?
Right. And that's one thing, it's a huge thing that we've talked about, and I talk about it on this podcast, that even if you have something a low price point, you have to show people results in advance. Why should they buy from you? And you had such a huge opportunity to show them the experience in advance. Give them a little bit of a tease, right? About what they can get. And then they're saying, oh, I got to have this because I know Covey Club and I know what you have to offer. And it is incredible. But if people don't know what the secret is, right, you got to let the secret out. And then you got to say, okay, but if you want more, you got to pay for it.
Right. Exactly. But you do have to have, we have thousands of people for free as subscribers, and we keep a really clean list where if you don't click on things after, 6 months, the machine starts to, say to you, hey, do you still want to be part of this? And if not, you're gone. So we have active, over 3,500 completely active people on a regular basis, and we grow slowly. And we engage them, and sometimes people, look, they're not joiners all the time. Some people are joiners, some are not.
Right.
And we have a lot of people who will pop in for one class. They'll pop in for a big event. They'll pop in so they're not buying all the times. And then there are other people who want to join and be part of it all the time. And I'm happy with either one. Both are fabulous.
I think I just want you to grow the Covey Club to millions of women, because I think it's so fabulous. And how did you know women were going to pay for this membership, Lesley?
I didn't. I mean, I just started out that way. I just started out, and Gina, my first membership drive was $99 because I didn't know what people would pay for.
Okay.
And what was really interesting is I started adding stuff and creating value. I was like killing myself for $99. And I was also finding it brought a lot of people in, but they weren't engaged.
Okay.
And so I came to the conclusion that Covey Club is something you need to be engaged with. And I heard this when I would do consumer research with them and say, what do you like? What do you like? And it came up with, you kind of have to put some time in and some effort in, and then it really pays off. And I thought, okay, well, what's happening with the $99 thing is a lot of friends are just saying, like $99 fine. Like, it's my donation, like a charity donation. Right.
Right. Right.
And they really weren't engaging. And so I raised my price twice. I'm now at $299, which is really $29 a month. And that's really like I can't remember, $360 around that for the whole year. And then we discount it to $299 if you buy the whole year. And I find engagement goes up.
Yeah.
And
because,
we add,
they have a bigger
they
stake
have
in the ground, a bigger
stake in the
investment.
ground.
Right.
Yeah. Like I've
Right.
invested some money and I'm
Yeah.
actually going to read the material you send me and I'm actually going to get involved. And the magic of Covey Club, what we say is we hold a space for you while you figure out what's next, right?
Love that.
I can't tell you. In the beginning, I thought I had to tell you, Gina, what you were going to do next. And if I didn't, I was failing somehow. And then when I did some research, what people were really grateful for was a place where they could come, be themselves, talk openly, admit their vulnerabilities. And these are high-powered executive women who are in transition. And what we found is that transition peels away all attitude, all sort of, it just peels the onion to the very vulnerable center. And
yeah, I love that. I just love your philosophy, Lesley, that you're like, I'm just going to try it on. Like,
I'm trying it.
Right? And where does that mindset come from? Like, I feel like you're fearless. You're like, I'm just going to make mistakes and it's okay.
I think that comes from running magazines for so long and the joy of, I used to have these meetings, both at YM. I ran Mary Claire, and I ran More Magazine and Redbook. When I don't remember if we might have done it at YM at some point, YM or Mary Claire, one of those two. I used to call meetings and I would call them crazy idea meetings. And the idea, you got to remember, this is the height of publishing. We were selling more and more each month. I mean, it was incredible stuff. And I would say to everybody, I want your craziest, best, nutty idea. Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about what it costs. Don't worry about logistics. Just give me the idea. And if I like it, we'll figure out how to make it happen, right? Because at that point, you had to be innovative. You had to be different. You had to go out on a limb. You had to do all those things to get ahead and to stand out. Otherwise, look, at that point, there were 4 or 5 magazines in every category doing the same thing. How do you make yourself stand out? So we would do crazy, crazy stuff. Like when I was doing YM, we would sell, you're never going to believe this. We would get these celebrity guys because it was all about, guys. There was a lot of, boy talk and stuff. This was for teenagers. I'm so embarrassed. We'd sell their underwear. They would give you a pair of boxer shorts that they would sign.
Okay.
And you would give it away in a promotion.
Wow. I love
it. Like you would have loved this. You would have loved this. But we would do it on a regular basis. And at that point, the celebrities were into it, the guy's t-shirt, like all weird stuff.
And did that come out of a crazy idea meeting?
Yeah, it comes out of crazy idea meetings. One crazy idea that we did, we decided remember, before reality TV, we were doing reality TV and print at Mary Claire. And we wanted to, do you remember they painted Graydon Carter at Vanity Fair, painted Demi Moore's, she did her nude when she was pregnant, but they painted the outfit on her, right?
Right.
So I said, let's take it further. I said, New York is such a place where no one notices anything. No one looks up. Everybody's jaded.
Right.
No one knows anything. Let's do a stunt where we take a model through the streets of New York painted, but wearing nothing, and see what happens. It was one of the funniest pieces I ever ran in my life. There's a picture. It opened up with a picture with her standing on the subway. She has a little G-string and 2 little pasties, but that's it. And I didn't know if we were going to get arrested for indecency or whatever.
Oh my God.
But she's standing on the subway and all these guys, you can see them, they're looking up they're trying to look at their journals, but their eyes are actually on her.
You should take some of those principles and do them for Covey Club, right?
Well, we're gonna paint you naked and you're gonna
Maybe
go
not. Nobody wants to see me naked specifically, Lesley, but I'm sure we could find
We can
another
find
young
something.
lady or young buck.
Right.
But I mean, but my point is like
Yes,
every
go
time I throw an
crazy.
idea at you, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll try it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you could apply what you said about New Yorkers not looking up. That's social media now, right? Like it's
Yes,
hard to get people, or
exactly.
instead of looking up, it's to stop scrolling. So how
Yes.
can you take some of those principles so they stop scrolling? Right?
Yes, which we have not done that kind of thing, but that's a good idea. No, that's a good idea.
You
It's
know,
a really good
and
idea.
I have a question for you. What makes great content in your mind? So from your publishing and now you're just trying things on. Like what do you think makes engaging content?
I think, the one thing I learned as an editor was from the great Ruth Whitney, who ran Glamour magazine for God, how many years? She died when she was in her late 70s, but she ran it for one of the longest jaunts of any editor in chief. She used to say, from the customer's point of view, for every word in that magazine, and I really imbibed it, and it's the same thing I use for Covey Club, what's in it for me?
Mm-hmm.
Why should I spend 1 minute with you? I've got everything else going on. And of course, now today it's even more.
Right.
Why spend time with you? What am I getting out of it? And it's all about me, the consumer. It's not about you. It's not about what you want. It's about what I want. And I like to deliver the most helpful, serious, and playful at the same time, but founded content so that you don't have to go anywhere else. I want to be your last stop. If you want to know about, how to reinvent yourself in midlife, I'm your last stop. You don't have to go anywhere else. If you want to know what's going on with your body at midlife, you can come to us, and whatever you read with us, we're not giving you part of this.
Do you still do the 3 a.m. menopause
Yes,
meetings?
the
Or
room. Yeah, we
the
have a room.
room? I was
Yes,
like, dang, this is
3
great. This
a.m.
is so niche and I love it.
It's very niche. It's up at 3 a.m. But if you're up at 3 a.m. and you're a member of Covey Club, we got you.
That's it. That's the kind of content people want, right?
You can sign in. This is live. It's not even content. You can sign in and see if anybody else is up. Because sometimes you're just so fried. I mean, this whole inability to sleep during midlife is so difficult, and you feel so alone. And that's one of the key drivers for me. And the reason why I got into magazines now translates to Covey Club is.
Yeah. No, I hear you just know your person so well. I wanted to ask you what has surprised you most, or what's the biggest thing that you've learned about scaling your online membership?
Oh, everything. Oh my God, scaling. It's hard. I'm glad to be at scaling after 5 years.
Yes.
That's the great thing. The really great thing is I know like 99% of businesses don't even make it to year 5.
Right.
So I'm thrilled. We had our best year last year. We're increasing revenue. We're small. I didn't take money from outside investors. Yep. Because then I felt like I would be back where I was my whole life, which was worrying about if I'm up 10% or not. And I didn't want to do that. So this really is its own business coming slowly by itself. And I'm working on a strategic plan and trying to plan how many new people need to be members to, we need a percentage increase. We need to keep moving up, and, what kind of help do I need to get there? And I have wonderful members who have jumped in just like they do for all the people who join. But I have, a woman who is a member who's just become a great friend. She used to work for the Senate and the White House, and she's helping me with my strategic plan. I've never had anybody do this with me before in my entire life. And we're peeling it back to how many people do you have to bring in if you want to, get to this number in 5 years? I mean, she's extraordinary. It's like, I would never have met her. She would not be doing this with me, except she loves Covey. She loves helping people. I help her. She helps me.
Love it.
I mean, it's crazy. Like just before this call, I was just on the call with her and I kept saying to her, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I was almost crying. I was like, this is unbelievable, because in order to scale, you have to do all of that. And I don't know how to do that, but she does.
Yeah.
She said, oh yeah, I used to do this as chief of staff all the time and, in the Senate. And I was like, when can I have chief of staff costs down the road? I want a salary. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is what we do for each other in the club.
That's right. And
then people do business with each other also. People hire each other to do stuff as well.
And then what have you learned? Like how are you going to approach the next year in terms of growing your business? And yeah, I know you're going to continue to take risks. So that's on your plate.
Oh yeah. I'm actually planning. I know that sounds so stupid, but I used to listen to all this, you need to make your goals for next year. I mean, in corporate, goal setting was so stupid because they never gave you any leeway, right? It was just, they gave you a number and you had to meet it. That was the goal planning. That was it. There was nothing else. Sell more copies, get more ads. There was nothing else. But with this, you really have to say, and I love the fact that you can be creative. What are the creative ways that I can increase revenue? What are the creative ways I can bring new people into the club? What are the creative ways I can increase retention? What are the creative ways that, I can use all the other things? I have a podcast recording all about reinvention. How can I use that to either increase revenue or bring more people in?
Yes.
And it's very, but the key is you have to have people like you and I before this. You weren't supposed to do this, and I'm going to talk to you later, but you just spent like a half an hour with me going through all my ideas because you gave me so many ideas last time when we worked together for my subscription drive. And each of us thinks differently depending on our expertise.
Damn right.
I'm a gatherer. I'm an informer. I'm learning to be a marketer. It doesn't come naturally.
You are learning to be a marketer.
I'm learning, but there was a lot, like I just showed you, there was a whole program that I used to give away for free. And I remember Gina in my head saying, don't do that. Use that as a subscription drive. And I was like, okay, that's what I did. And you were like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So,
and you implemented.
You need the experts around you. You need to listen. You have to be a good listener, Gina. That's one of the things. Mm-hmm. If you think you know everything, you're doomed.
Right.
I've always been a super good listener, just because of, for whatever reason, that's how I learn. I learn and I can function in where I listen. That's how I work.
And you implement. And you're an action taker.
And then I implement. Yeah, I'm totally action. But I always used to say, I will take an idea from anywhere. Like when in magazines, it was very hierarchical.
Yeah.
And when I worked at Vogue or when I worked at Glamour or whatever, the editor-in-chief only wanted ideas from the top people. It had to be so-and-so's idea or they didn't want it, right?
Right.
I'm like, if I pass somebody in the street and they shout out a great idea for Covey Club, I'm on it. Like, I don't care where it comes from. Ideas are ideas. I could care less,
Yeah, it's great.
Sometimes my members just accidentally, they're like riffing and they're like, you should. And I'm like, hold on, let me write that down.
Yes. Okay, this is great. Lesley, tell us where we can sign up for membership for Covey Club. And
so
all the great things you get.
You can come to coveyclub.com and you can sign up. And we have a wonderful, you can either, if you are not sure if this is for you or whatever, you can do a monthly package. And that's $29.99. And, try it out for a month.
So check out Covey Club, incredible benefits that you get. You've been hearing from Lesley, rattle them off throughout this podcast. And thanks for coming on, Lesley. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, always. Anything for you.
Okay, what did you think of Lesley? Firecracker, right? I mean, you gotta love her. And she knows how to develop content. She knows how to get a sense of what her people want and then really deliver on that. So please check out Covey Club. I'll link to it in the show notes. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to hang with the ladies at Covey Club and just awesome value there. If this has left some impact for you, please leave me a review and then ping me. Let me know you left that review so I can give you a shout out. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss one single episode. And until next week, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.